Hi guys, thank you for being here. I don't really know what I'm saying right now. I just wanted to, and this makes me really nervous because I wasn't sure when to share this news. I've been told to keep it secret for a long time, and then other people have told me, you know, it's not a big deal, just say when you're ready, and other people have said wait till you're like 5 months and I've just passed, like I'm nearly 3.5 months pregnant, and I just want to share it with you guys now because I am so used to sharing everything with you, and then as soon as I got pregnant I couldn't tell you all, and then I wasn't making any videos and I felt sick. Oh my god, I felt so sick. So for 2 months I've had my head down the toilet and I've been vomiting every single day, and I found it really hard to get out of bed. I've had no energy, and it was like having a constant hangover every day, and it just got really depressing, and it just got really difficult, and it hasn't been easy at all. They do say that, you know, the first trimester is the hardest, and then obviously your last trimester when you kind of finding it hard to sleep and waddling around. But emotionally for me as well, it's just been a roller coaster, and I wanted to share that with you guys because if anything, I love sharing with you, like when I'm going through a hard time or when I'm going through a great time or whatever's happening in my life. I love to share that with you guys, and I don't know, like this was really hard to keep from you. So I feel nervous but also really relieved that it's kind of now out in the open because I can just be honest with you. And then obviously, like, there is still the risk of having like a miscarriage, and that kind of risk never really goes away, and there are things like, you know, people do have stillbirths and things can go wrong, and I think that's the scariest thing about sharing the news, because if something does go wrong then you have to share that news too, and that must be really hard to do. However, if that did happen, I would want to share that with you because I feel like there's probably a lot of shame and guilt and fear around those things, and I would want to break down those barriers and kind of communicate everything I was feeling and really talk to you guys about how to deal with that, and you know, you could then experience what I was experiencing and learn from that. And that's why I was put on this earth. I was put on this earth to share and to help people, and so if I'm telling you too early, then, you know, that's just one of those things. However, that was a bit depressing, sorry. However, I am so excited, and I still don't really feel pregnant. Like, I can't explain it, but I don't really feel like there's a baby inside me. Like, that part doesn't feel real yet, and I don't feel connected to anything down there at all. But I imagine that when it comes to about week 20, when I get my bump, that will become a bit easier to feel connected, and I'll have that kind of pregnant feeling that I really want. Like, I really want to feel like pregnant, and I think it would be so nice to have a bump earlier, because then you could just literally be like, you know, embrace the pregnancy. Like, I've been going through, like, the past few months, I haven't really gained weight on the scale. Like, I don't usually weigh myself, but they say that you should really weigh yourself during pregnancy just to keep an eye on things and make sure that you're being healthy and things like that. In the first few months I lost weight because I was throwing up so much, and I think like that was really hard because of my past, because of having bulimia, because of kind of, it's not an ongoing struggle, but it's definitely something that comes back every now and again and kind of bites me in the ass when I'm stressed or when I'm having a bad time. It's something that kind of rears its head and shows itself, and it's something that I have to really work with to make sure that I don't get sucked back into having an eating disorder. And I think constantly throwing up has kind of brought back a lot of bad memories and a lot of bad experiences and then the whole eating disorder thing, which felt like kind of like a distant memory, became like very present. And I felt like I started to feel like I had to be sick. So even in those days where I'd feel nauseous and I wasn't actually sick, but I'd feel like I need to be sick. And then I was getting confused because I was like, hang on a minute, am I wanting to be sick because I feel nauseous, and because I for what reason? Do you know what I mean? Like, I started to get scared that I got into the habit of being sick again, and then was I going to start making myself sick? And the last thing you want to do when you've got a baby growing inside you is be so selfish to think about gaining weight or needing to feel a release or getting the stress or your emotions out through binging and purging or whatever. And yeah, I think that has been the biggest challenge for me so far. And like seeing my body change shape, and my boobs are so big, and I just feel like my hips feel wider, and I don't know, like I've been going to the gym a lot, and I just feel like all my progress that I was making in the gym has now really started to slow down, and I haven't been able to go as much because I've not been feeling like it. But I think once that progress kind of slowed down, I started to feel a panic, and it made me realise that the self-love that I thought I had wasn't really real, because it's much easier to accept yourself when you're in shape and when you're eating well and when you're working out and when you're toned and fit and healthy. It's so much easier because we live in a world where we constantly compare ourselves to other people, and when you can compare yourself and be like, actually, I look quite good compared to her, or in comparison to the fitness models on Instagram or whatever, I look okay. You can feel a lot more love for yourself, and it's true, like, but it's not real self-love because it's conditional, and you're basing your self-love on the way that you look and not on who you are as a person and like who you are inside without this outer shell. And I think it's really this whole past few months has really taught me and pointed out that I don't love myself anywhere near as much as I should, and I don't want to be a bad influence on my baby. I do not want to bring a child into the world that sees its mother putting herself down and calling herself names and throwing up and things like that. Like, that's not who I want to be. I want to be inspiring, and I want to be just the kind of self-love role model that I know that I can be. And you know, I am grateful for the challenges and everything, because to be honest, if I didn't have them, then I wouldn't be able to talk about this and help other people, and I think I wouldn't have grown spiritually as much as I have, because I wouldn't have been through something that made me dig so deep into myself and find these answers. To be honest, I think I just came back from Thailand, and we only got to spend like one day by the beach, and so I wasn't really in a bikini the whole time, to be honest. Like we just did like one or 2 days by the beach, and that entire week I'd been eating crappy food because we were in Chiang Mai. It wasn't like I couldn't find fresh fruit and vegetables anywhere, and we just ate out every day. And between eating spicy food, throwing up, eating crap food, eating chocolate, and just trying to get snacks here and there, I just started to feel really, really bad about myself. And by the time we went to the beach in Krabi, like, me and my sister were taking photos, and she took a photo of me and Paul, and I was like in my bikini, and like Paul was holding me, and like my rolls from the side of my on my back were like flapped over his hand or his arm. And I saw this picture, and I literally, no word of a lie, I stormed up the beach and I sat down on my towel and I said, I am so disgusting, I hate myself. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks, because I must say these things to myself in my head sometimes, but I'd never really heard myself say that out loud, and I literally said something so horrible about myself, and it really got to me, and I just realised, oh my god, like, I'm bringing a child into the world, and I think that I'm disgusting, and I hate myself. Like, how can I say that about myself? How can I not understand that my body is going through changes, and that I am going to gain weight, and I am going to change shape, and I am going to lose the physical appearance that my body has right now? But so what? Like, where did that kind of lack of compassion for myself come from? And why did I feel so angry about it? And I realised that I was still putting a lot of pressure on myself to look a certain way. And, you know, I think being in the world of Instagram had got under my skin a lot more than I thought it had, and it didn't really come to light until now. And it's just been a bit of a realisation. I realised, like, in the past 3 months that my career has kind of come to a standstill, and I don't feel creative, and I don't feel fulfilled, and I feel stuck. And I think then on top of that, having the morning sickness and everything else, which made me feel quite depressed, kind of just sucked the life out of me, and I just felt so paralysed. And I realise now that because I wasn't loving myself for the past few months, because I was really hating on myself so much and rejecting my own body, rejecting the gift that I've been given to navigate me through this life, I couldn't grow. How on earth was I supposed to grow and be excited and be happy and embrace myself when I was literally rejecting myself in every way? I was just looking in the mirror every day and thinking, no, this is not good enough, and this is never going to be good enough, and it's just, you know, I am not enough. How can I have that outlook and yet be carrying a miracle in my womb that is going to be my baby, and at the same time think that I'm so worthless? I was completely missing the point of being pregnant, and like the feeling of being so blessed and elated and happy that I had when I first got pregnant. And I do believe that the hormones have a role to play. I'm not gonna lie and say that this was completely down to just, you know, just a general lack of self-love. Like, I kind of nosedived, and I think that if you're watching this and you're a girl, you will know how powerful hormones are. And Jesus Christ, when you're pregnant, they really are. One amazing thing that's happened is my skin has completely cleared. I mean, I do have a few spots, but I think that's from when I was in Thailand. I put like oil on my face, like suntan lotion, but it was an oil, and I broke out straight away. And I just think I got a bit cocky and was like, my skin's fine, I can do what I want. And I just ended up, yeah, breaking out. But you've all been messaging me saying like, oh my god, your skin is so clear, and I'm like, what do I say? I feel so bad because I can't be like, oh, it's this product or it's this that's made my skin clear, because that's bullshit. There's nothing, I haven't even been using skincare recently. Like, I have my favourites that I will use to take my makeup off and like to moisturise before bed, but I haven't been having a skincare routine, and I haven't actually needed one. My skin has just been like fabulous. And I think that shows the power of hormones, and like how much even just slight changes in your hormones can completely change how you feel and how you look, and you know, everything about you. Your hormones has so much control over that, and sometimes you have to just accept that and understand, especially when you've got PMS and stuff, that it happens, and it's, you know, it's no reflection on who you are as a person, and it really is something that is difficult to cope with. And that's what I'm doing at the moment. So I'm dedicating now my every moment of the day to loving myself more. Paul sat me down, we had like a brainstorm at the kitchen table this morning, and he was like, he just looked at me and was like, you don't love yourself. And I just said, I know. I was like, I know, I don't know what's got into me, and I don't know where my self-love has gone. but I am like determined to get that feeling back, and I think the first step is to not be so hard on myself about kind of falling out of love with myself and being so hard on myself, because the last thing that I should do is now punish myself for that, because that would just be even worse. So I'm going to start with the best thing to do and forgive myself for feeling like a failure the last 3 months, or feeling like I had no drive or motivation, or I was, you know, worried about being bulimic and being sick and things like that. Like, I'm just going to forgive myself and accept myself in that state, in that kind of emotional, confused state, because one thing that I have really lacked recently is compassion, and that's the one thing that I need to get back. And I think a lot of things in our lives start with forgiveness. Like, when we want to fix things, forgiveness of ourselves and others is like a huge stepping stone. And then I'm just gonna let go of the idea that I need to look or be or have a certain shape or size or compare myself to other people. It's very easy to compare yourself to other pregnant women as well and be like, shit, like some pregnant women do gain quite a lot of weight, some pregnant women stay stick thin all throughout their pregnancy, and it's like, what's gonna happen to me? Am I gonna get stretch marks? There's so many things that you're worried about, and it's like, it's so superficial. Like, your body is doing an amazing thing, and to sit there and literally kill yourself worrying about gaining weight or getting stretch marks, or, you know, I should be sat here thinking about how can I be the best mum that I can be? How can I make enough money to have enough savings to support my baby? What colour am I going to paint this fucking nursery, because it's not going to be yellow? And like, there's so many other things to worry about, and it's very selfish to constantly sit and wonder. Sit and tell yourself that you're not good enough and you never will be. They say, a lot of people think that loving yourself is selfish, and it is the least selfish thing you could do. To be selfish means to be a burden on someone else, and I do not think that loving yourself makes you a burden on anyone. In fact, it does the opposite. When you don't love yourself, you're a burden. I've been a burden. I feel like I've been a burden the past 3 months, because by not loving myself, I've complained, I've put myself down, I've cried, I've been jealous, I've been insecure. Not loving myself has actually made me more selfish. By loving yourself, you literally, none of those things matter. You love yourself, you accept yourself, you show up, you can be the best mum, the best girlfriend, the best daughter, whatever, whoever you are, whatever you're a boy or a girl. And self-love is the least selfish thing that you can do. It is just, if not for yourself, it makes you a better person for everyone else in your life. And like, I think I need to realize that and know that not only am I doing this for me, but I'm doing it for everybody that I know, and also for you guys, because you guys mean the world to me. Like, seriously, every single one of you means the world to me. And I might not have met you all, but I've spoken to so many of you, and like, I have so much love in my heart for every single one of you that says something nice or sends me a supportive message or says something kind to me, because that support means the world, and all I want to do is support you guys back in any way that I can. So I am doing this for you, I am doing this for me and everyone that I know, and especially for my baby. So yeah. Sorry for rambling on, I've spoken for like 20 minutes, but I just had to get that off my chest. Like, the past 3 months has been fucking crazy, and I'm really excited for the second trimester, where my hormones hopefully will level out, I'll have more energy, and I'll be able to really talk to you guys about my pregnancy journey. I want to share everything with you. I've said that Paul can put the birth on my Instagram story, obviously not the part with my vagina, but like the run up to the birth and everything else. I just want to share it all with you. I don't care. I'm not a private person in any way. I believe that we're all put on this earth to be vulnerable, to be open, to be shameless, and I believe that that's why I'm here. So that's what I'm gonna do. So if you would like to follow my journey, please subscribe. I'm going to keep uploading pregnancy videos and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you for listening, and I love you all.